climbing, I'm losing my grip. Storage costs rising, they'll never let me skip. Refunds I'm eating, returns pile up too. Oh, Amazon, what else will you do? I look at my dashboard, my profits erased. My margins are gone, it's a slap in the face. Prime Day's a promise, but it's such a race. How much will I make if I'm replaced? It's a cruel, cruel number. Fees keep climbing, profits torn asunder. Oh, it's cruel, the sellers wonder how to survive when the margins go under. It's a cruel, cruel number. Every month it's something new to plunder. Oh, it's cruel, it's no wonder we're stuck in this game. The algorithm's thunder.
Yo, Amazon's back, and they got a new scheme. Reimbursement slashed, it's every seller's dream. They're digging deep, taking more from the pot. Let's break it all down, expose what they got. March 25, it's a policy drop. They say manufacturing costs, but we know it's a flop. Give us your cogs, they're demanding the price. But if you don't, they'll estimate nice. Nice for them, not for you. Watch your payout shrink. That comprehensive evil is a corporate wing. Lost in the warehouse, damaged on the floor. Now they pay you pennies, not a cent more. Fees on the rise, profits on the run. They don't lift a finger, but they pocket the fun. We're fair! They shout while they cut our shares. Amazon math, man, it's full of errors. Fees, taking our dough. They're stacking the deck, and it's sellers who owe. Reimbursements? Nah, they're taking us down, but we're still here, we don't mess around. Fees, straight to the top. Amazon's game, it'll never stop. Margins tight, but we keep the grind. Sellers unite, we're one of a kind.
I try to sell my product on Amazon, thought it'd be a breeze. But little did I know I'd be stuck with seller support disease. They never seem to solve my problems, just give me the run around. I'm tired of waiting on hold. My patience is wearing thin, I'll never be found. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck. Can't get no satisfaction. I'm out of luck, out of luck, out of luck. You don't care about my business, just trying to make a buck. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck.
This one's for the sellers on the grind, getting left on red, wasting all their time. I hit up support, got an auto reply. Thanks for your patience, man, I wanna cry. Inventory lost, my margins are toast. Reps playing tag like the Casper the Ghost. They pass me around, it's a never-ending game. Nobody takes action, everybody shifts blame. My ASIN's down, I'm out of the race. They say they'll escalate, yo, what a disgrace. Amazon seller support, you're breaking my heart. No answers, no fixes, just tearing me apart. Hours in the queue, stuck in the dark. Amazon seller support, you're missing the mark.
Amazon game plan, that is the key. Seller central dashboard, that's where I be. Analyze the funnel, see what we lack, then we optimize. Sellers know it's a fact. I get it poppin', you know that it's lit. Climbing the rankings, ain't no room to quit. I check the data, they notice the stats. I keep the method, that's how you adapt. Metrics are showing, you know it's our cap. Amazon sellers, it's time to react. I'm about that action, I do this with passion. I got them like, whoa, what is this? Huh, whoa.
I don't know, dude. I think everybody's just buying stuff based on reviews and badges or whatever. They don't even know who we are. These customers don't even know the name of my brand. But they keep clicking add to cart like it's part of the plan. They see that Amazon badge and think it's all grand. But yo, they don't even know the name of my brand.
Click, scroll, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live for sell a day. Now listen up, I'm Steven Pope. Amazon guru, I'll help you cope. Step 1, get that trademark stamped. Without brand registry, your Amazon cramped. Head to Seller Central, log in quick. Manage stores tab, yeah, that's the trick. Upload your logo, flex that style. You're about to make Jeff Bezos smile. Where pick a template, marquee or grid. Drop your tiles like a branding whiz. Hero image, big and bold. This store's gonna glitter like digital gold. Let's grow, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live, let's sell today. Yo. In the trenches of the Amazon game, trying to survive while it's driving me insane. Nobody warns you, they just claim it's passive income. Nah, it's pain. I'm sitting at a birthday, laughing, chilling, next to a newbie Amazon seller spilling. She's like, Prime so smooth, it's a killer. Then tried to sell, now she's stuck in a thriller. Finding products, yeah, that's the first grind. Scrolling Alibaba, losing my mind. Samples suck, manufacturers decline. I'm like, dang, how's anyone doing this fine? Ship it in, pay for the bubble wrap, but they ship glass bottles in padded crap. Now I got hot sauce leaks, refund stacked, customers pissed. Man, I'm under attack. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat. Trademark wars, brand registry's a scam. They banned my brand, now I'm in a jam. Listings yanked, products ranked and tanked. Lost dogs in the catalog, my account shanked. Now let's talk ads, it's a rabbit hole. 1,000 hours deep, man, it's taking my soul. Weekly negations, bulk sheets for control. Excel's my new weapon, but it's taking its toll. SEO's no joke, keywords in the game. Alt text, A+ content, playing insane. Lifestyle shots, avatars for fame, but the CTR's low. All products look the same. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, from SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat.
Let's go to Mac School. To Mac School. Class is now in session with Professor Pope.
They got the SOP, cause Professor Pope wrote the recipe. Helping Amazon sellers grow sales exponentially. Amazon's a jungle, but we map the strategy. Brand strategist playbook, it's a guide to victory. Troubleshooting catalogs, you know we got the answer key. Boosting all your rankings, turning sales into a legacy. SOB so deep, you think we studied at Mac School. Every step we follow leads to growth, yeah, it's a golden rule. Stuck on keywords, we'll find the ones that work the best. Using Helium-10, strike distance keywords past the test. Incremental indexing ensures the listing set to rise. From the back end to the bullets, optimization hits the skies. Brand store creation, yeah, we make it shine and flow. A+ content design makes conversions overflow. Need your images on point, best practices in the plan. Alt text and photo rules ensure your visuals command. SEO meets PPC, it's balanced, every step aligned. We'll construct the MKLs that drive rankings over time. Budget caps and bid adjustments, no more wasted spending. Segmentation builds campaigns that sellers can defend. Got a hijacker, no problem, we'll file to take them down. Review requests in action, 5-star ratings come around. Flat file updates, market share reports, it's all in reach. Professor Pope wrote the SOP so sellers learn and teach. Meanwhile, my Amazon guys on the case, fixing up my problems at lightning pace. Ticket escalations, Mag's the boss. Even Amazon says we'll take the loss. Seller support don't know what's up. Passing the buck when the issue gets tough. They're the official team, but they can't comply. So they say, reach out to my Amazon guy. They're supposed to be the pros, but they can't decode policies and tools from their own damn road. I'm paying fees, yet they bring me stress. But Mag turns my chaos into pure success. Seller support reps, they throwing shade, but then admit, yo, Mag will get you paid. Third-party agency taking the throne while Amazon fumbles in their own damn zone. Seller support don't know what's up. Passing the buck when the issue gets tough. They're the official team, but they can't comply. So they say, reach out to my Amazon guy. So here's the truth, let's keep it real. Mag's the team with the pro-level skill. Amazon sellers, you know the vibe when support says call Mag. They'll give you peace of mind. Amazon seller support, you can suck my image stack. Sucking is all you're good at anyway. Bezos, hit me up if you want to sell seller support. I'm buying. There's a Jace. Peace.
Hello and welcome to the My Amazon Guy Friday live Q&A. My name is Noel Wickham and I am VP of Sales and Marketing here at My Amazon Guy. I'm here to answer any and all of the questions that you possibly have. So throw your questions in the chat. We will get to them as we do. I hope that nobody has a clown phobia of any kind, because you're going to be looking at quite a few of them today. So, and I am not one, unfortunately. All right, so let's kick it off today, everybody. We have a couple of questions that came in earlier. I feel like every single week that we are doing this, there are even more and more questions that come in just earlier and earlier from when we post it. We're going to have to start posting this like a day ahead of time or something. So this question actually came in at 6 a.m. today, so 6 hours ago. So they are getting the jump on things. So, hi, before I was getting very good sales from my private label product, but from last Friday, I don't know what happened to my listing. There are no sales at all. Even I am spending more on PPC, published premium EBC, lower my price, added a keyword on my main image, but still it's not working. Response appreciated. Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of things check first and foremost. Very first thing, take the ASIN of your product and throw it into the Amazon search bar. Search your product to make sure you don't have a hidden suppression of any kind on your product. If your product shows up, you're good. If it doesn't show up, then you have a hidden suppression and you need to open a seller support case. You can also usually do a delete and relist of your products, and that will solve most hidden suppression issues. Now, if your product does show up, you don't have one, and so we need to figure out what is the other aspect of this. So the question I would have here would be, are you getting impressions of any kind on your advertising? If you're not getting impressions, you likely have a bid issue of some kind. So we actually have a video that I came out with quite a while ago at this point. Let me see if I can pull it up here for you. So it is this video right here. Now I have to do this, which is a blank screen. My bad. Here we go. Sharing my screen there. So there's this video right here that I came out with, common causes for 0 impressions on Amazon PPC. You can search this in our YouTube channel under impressions, and that will help you with majority of impression issues on your advertising. If it's just a matter of you are getting impressions but no clicks, the question then would come down to, are you targeting the right things? And then finally, if you're getting clicks but no conversions, you need to essentially look at your PDP and understand why it is people won't be converting. Are you actually targeting the right keywords? So your PDP answer the questions people have. Are you having review challenges, for instance? So these are all things that I immediately am going to look at any point in time when somebody has these issues. But it's an entire checklist essentially, and going down the list of like, hey, here are things that you need to be looking at to understand whether or not it is an issue with your product listing, an issue with your advertising, or an issue on Amazon's backend. Ecom enthusiast, what define the competition? Okay. Oh, he has second. Better question. What defines the competition on Amazon in a category? Also, best ways to get seller feedback so that we can run deals. So the way to essentially define competition is, what are people who are selling a similar or look-alike type of product to yours in your exact category or an adjacent category. So essentially, who are your direct competitors? So if you're selling, for instance, a deck of playing cards, then anyone else who is selling a deck of playing cards is your competitor, but they may not be a direct competitor. So let's say that instead of a deck of playing cards or just a plain deck of playing cards, you are selling a deck of playing cards that has a very specific design on the back. Let's say it's a design for, I don't know, One Piece, the anime, right? And somebody else is selling a design for scary clowns, right? You technically are a competitor to that person, but more than likely than not, you are not a direct competitor to that person. What I mean by that is that there can be small differences in products that make your preferred ICP technically slightly different than somebody else. They would be targeting keywords around One Piece playing cards, and you, well, that's actually horrible because there is playing cards for One Piece, but you would be targeting clown deck playing cards, right? And so there is essentially competitor or adjacent competitors and then direct competitors in that kind of capacity. And so that's how you tend to figure out who it is. But if somebody is selling a near identical to your product with very similar features, and you tend to have the exact same type of general customer base, that is how you would define them as a competitor. Do you offer 3D rendering services as well for a product? Absolutely, we do. Head on over to myamazonguy.com under our services section, and you can check out for 3D rendering. So more than happy to do that for you if that's something that you're needing. How to get approval of using the word AirTag in our listing for Apple brand, because Amazon is asking us to get this before we can use this spot for our AirTag wallet. So you're actually, I think, the second or third person in like the past couple of months who has asked me about this. So AirTag, unfortunately, is a restricted term because it is a brand term at the end of the day. You actually will see on Amazon a lot of people get around this, right? So AirTag wallet. So we can actually look at a couple of examples here. So for instance, oh, wrong page. There we go. So you can actually see a couple examples here, right? Where people essentially put AirTag holder, they put AirTag, but with a space, AirTag here, so on and so forth. So people will put AirTag with inside of their listing. So a couple of different things that you do to essentially do this. The first and foremost is that, yeah, if you essentially are creating a product like this, and then all of a sudden somebody, you get an IP claim for AirTag, you do need to get approval for that. One way that you can do this is go direct to the manufacturer, Apple, and you can become a registered partner for that. You can also get registered to just have auxiliary products. These are essentially products that work alongside Apple products as well. And so you can get that approval from Apple's department as well. They're happy to give that. Now, you don't technically need that approval. Amazon just wants it at the end of the day. And the final thing that I would kind of say there is this is a fairly competitive niche, as we just kind of saw there. So I would question the idea behind putting directly just AirTag and how much that will actually matter for you at the end of the day compared to tracking wallet. Hi, Noah. Is it possible to create a TikTok shop account in the US using someone else's social security number while the LLC is registered under our own business details? Or can we register the account only with our LLC and EIN without needing an ITIN? Yeah, so you should be registering the business under your LLC and EIN. You shouldn't be using somebody else's social number. And a couple of different reasons for that. One, just identity verification purposes. You will forever be tied to that number on TikTok Shop. Amazon, doesn't matter the platform, right? But TikTok Shop in this capacity, they do identity verification tied to those numbers. And so if you use somebody else's, it essentially means that you can never get your business away from them in any capacity. And I have seen and talked to so many different brands that have had this problem in the past where essentially they set something up under somebody else's name or under their account, under their identity, anything like that. And then there is a falling out of some kind later down the road. And that person ends up not being able to make a change. They can't do an identity verification because they can't work with the other person. And so I would actually set up under the LLC and the EIN, and that will solve a lot of your problem here. There's no reason for the social number is basically the end all be all of it, especially for a TikTok shop. It's a business account. Hi, Noah. I like your beard. It really suits your face. Thank you. I have to do the beard because I have baby face McGee and I look the exact same now as I did when I was like 5. And so if I shave my face, I just look like a child, and I don't like looking like a child. So Jeff, hello. Always good to see Jeff in here. I'm working with Walmart support to get a supplement brand reauthorized to sell on the platform. As with Amazon, do I send photo images of documents, or is sending a PDF okay? So for Walmart specifically, I believe you can send a PDF. We've done it a few times. You can also send the photo image, but Walmart on their site, you can actually look and it says that PDF is fine usually for all documents when you're reauthorizing, especially if you're getting them direct from the source. But if you want to and just be double sure, you can always just take that or snap that photo as well. But if you only have the PDF, that should be fine. Obviously, it's not on Amazon, but Walmart is different with what they allow. In general, anything else to be aware of or avoid doing when sending info to Walmart support? No, I mean, I think best practices always are essentially you can review what Walmart's details are on their support site as well. So they will actually tell you all of those details as well with everything like what is accepted, what isn't. You do want to follow the standard process. So if you're doing photos of any kind, make sure whatever background you're taking on is just a stagnant background. PDF, yes, is usually fine for them. It's the same as Amazon, really. It's not really all that different at the end of the day as to what you really should or shouldn't do for the most part. The only real differences come down to the minutia of how they like to have their system interpret things. Hello, Noah. Hello, Zigma. It's a crazy name. How do you set up auto campaigns to not target branded terms? What kind of negative targeting should one be added? I am working with a brand whose focus on non-brand / more market share. All right, so if you're setting up an auto campaign of any kind and you don't want to focus on a branded term, right? The easiest way to essentially do that is just add them in as negations and negative targeting. So you essentially need to look at all of the brand's terms. So let's say that the brand that I am going to be selling is, I don't know, I'm looking for something on my desk with a brand name on it. I don't buy a ton of brand names. I don't have anything on my, I do. Halls. I'm like looking on my desk for anything that has a brand name, and there's nothing that has a brand name around me. Halls. So let's say that you're selling Halls cough and throat relief. So if you're selling these cough and throat relief and you don't want to target the Halls brand, you essentially would look for any type of branded search term that they are showing up for already. So you can do this with something such as like Cerebro, and essentially look to see what are all the most common search terms that is being searched for their brand, as well as just adding their brand name in there as well. So just add those as negations. And the biggest thing is you're not going to get 100% right off the bat, but what you can do is just frequently check all of the search terms that populate into the auto campaign. And if any branded ones pop up, just add that in as a negative exact right then and there. You can also do a negative broad in there as well. Hi, Noah. Thanks for the Q&A. Happy to. I enjoy this on Fridays. It gives me a little reprieve at the end of the week, I should say. Let's see. I have tried all the ways to update my listing images. I used Flatfile, Upload Images tool, etc. However, they're not showing into PDP. I can see them on the back end. All right. So the unfortunate thing here is if you can see them on the back end and they're just not showing up on the PDP, means that you actually have a listing error issue. You do need to work with seller support for this, for them to essentially push the update through. If you say that you've done Flatfile, the only thing I would encourage you to do is just fully delete the listing out of your catalog first and foremost, and then do a full update via Flatfile and see if that fixes it. If it doesn't fix it, then you're going to have to open up a seller support case, unfortunately, where they're on their end with the catalog team, and you want to escalate it to the catalog team to have them push the updates manually. Pro Hall, good to see you. Who is the most reliable Amazon prep service company without breaking the bank? There's a couple of them. So we actually have, for those that are uninitiated, we have a website or a page on our website called Recommended Third-Party Services. Anyone can check this out. You can go to myamazonguy.com/third, and it will populate with this. And we have a section on there for logistics. So under this section, we have a couple of them. So we have My FBA Prep. We have ShipStation, not really a logistics website or company. We have Where to Go, ShipBob. Then we also have this one for like top prep centers. This top prep centers, it's just a bunch that we put together that we think are good. So like Prep FBA, Prep Ninjas, all of these. Some of these are pretty inexpensive. I love AMZ Prep. They're great. They are growing every single day. They are not the cheapest, though. I will say that. Zon Prep is also really, really good. They're fully within the US. They're great friends of ours as well. So they're all great. But I would check out this list and check out our /third site in general, just for anything you're ever needing there, Pro Hall. But absolutely tons of different options there as far as that list goes. Viper, happy Friday. Are you an anime fan? I am. The webinar that Mag did with setting up TikTok Shop, is that still available to view/buy? If not, will you guys do another? I don't remember exactly which one that was. It was probably a while ago. We have a website. And it's funny you even asked this, Viper, because literally this morning I was asking our team about it. But it is, if you go to myamazonguy.com/webinar, or webinars, I should say, then it will populate and show all of our previous webinars. We're still updating some of that for like some historical type of stuff. So yeah, that little thing down there, myamazonguy.com/webinar, has all of our historical ones. We're still updating it frequently for anything that is before like October 2024. But if we have them, they're going to be populated there at some point in time. So if it's going to be anywhere, it would be there more than likely. I guess I could also check our site right now. I don't think we uploaded one like that onto TikTok. Yeah, I'm not seeing that on TikTok. So more than likely it would be on our webinar side of things. Let's see. Sam, launching a new listing with 50 keywords. Should I group or split? What's the real benefit of doing 5 keywords per group versus just one, especially if I'm managing everything in bulk files? So I assume you mean you're talking about advertising here. So what's kind of the benefit, so to speak, of actually grouping all of your keywords or splitting them? So the only real benefit at the end of the day of like splitting into single keyword campaigns is just like hyper focus on a keyword. Our personal recommendation is always going, or professional recommendation, I should say, is always going to be 5 keywords to a group or to an ad group of some kind. So focus on 5 keywords. And the reason behind that is essentially you're going to find that usually 1 to 2 keywords in any ad group and any campaign that you do are usually going to end up taking the majority of your spend within that campaign and do the majority of your sales, get the majority of your impressions. And so with that, you don't want to essentially set up campaigns where, your budget is going to 2 keywords and then you just have 3 that aren't doing anything. And so you can then take those 3 out of that campaign, put them into their own campaign, and start to split up even more. So over time, you'll likely end up having even more campaigns, but starting with, 10 campaigns with 50 keywords total, 5 keywords per campaign is totally fine as well. Hey, Noah, how does one go about doing product research? Any videos you recommend from Mag? Does Mag offer the service to do product research? So no, not really, actually. It's funny. I would say product research is like the only thing we don't do. Steven himself, who founded Mag, has frequently said in the past, like product research is his weakest area as far as like figuring stuff out. And so he just never wanted to pursue that area. And, personally speaking, it also probably is one of my weakest areas. I'm not a product research expert. I mean, there is the aspect of like, do I know what could be a good product and what couldn't be? Of course, because I know what sells and what doesn't sell. But actually finding a product that I really believe in and like want to sell personally, it's just hard at the end of the day. And I think it's hard for anyone. A lot of people that we work with are people who end up not even like selling a product that anybody can make. It's people who end up creating their own product to solve a problem, right? And those are the products that do best at the end of the day. But yeah, product research, not something we offer, unfortunately. We do it internally for clients of ours that have current products they sell and brands, and we will, do some minor research to understand like what kind of products might fit really well within their category. What are their competitors selling at the end of the day? That always works really well. But usually my best judgment and my best recommendation here is figure out what category you want to sell in and start there. Is there a product that you have purchased recently where you thought I could make this better, right? Or is there a product that you believe in or something that you would personally use that you want to sell? Those are usually the best ways to kind of start when you're doing product research, but not something that I personally am ever going to really push on, so to speak, with a lot of those kind of situations. Pro Hall, if I connect Shopify and TikTok Shop to Amazon MCF and sales rise sharply, will Amazon see that as a signal to boost the ranking of those same products on Amazon? Not to my knowledge. So this is one of those really awkward moments, right? Where MCF technically, like the data there, it's not connected. So those things are like disconnected from what you're actually doing on Amazon, just because you have to look at like each of these kind of sections of Amazon as like their own entities at the end of the day. Now, what will likely happen here is, and we see this very often, if people start getting more sales on TikTok and people start getting more sales on Shopify, that usually means that there is more awareness for their brand as a whole. 60% of all searches for online products start on Amazon. So typically speaking, when people see a rise in overall awareness of their products and of their brands on TikTok, on Meta, on Instagram, on Shopify, anything like that, they also are going to see a rise in that total search volume on Amazon, because that is where people search for products, or at least 60% of people start their search for products. So that's one of those major things that's usually, if you do see that, you will see probably a boost in overall awareness and overall sales volume as well. But is it due to something like MCF? No. At the end of the day, it just comes down to your brand is growing. Hello, Noah. Is AGL reliable to use now? We booked with them early on how. Dude, I am baffled. I can't read this for some reason. Is AGL reliable to use now? We booked with them early on. However, they delayed the pickup for our goods, postponed indefinitely, forcing us to book with another freight forwarder. There's a 50-50 on this. So sometimes AGL is amazing and it's the best option for the majority of people. Other times AGL is exactly what you have here, and it's a really, really bad time and it doesn't work super well. And so I think that's just going to be a common use case. It'll depend on the person at the end of the day as to who they're buying from, where it's being shipped from, things like that. I would never just straight up say, oh yeah, the AGL is great, as with any service that Amazon offers, right? So it's going to be very, very dependent at the end of the day on what you're seeing. But it's not surprising to me at the end of the day to hear that something got delayed. That can happen. And part of this could also be that there's a lot of problems in the freight community in general right now. I made a video, I think it was 2 weeks ago, about an entire freight shipment that just fell into the water. And we actually found out there were some clients and some friends of mine whose products were on that boat where it fell into the water. And so that's crazy. Like you don't expect those things to happen, but it is one of the major problems with the freight community right now. How do you usually optimize multi-keyword campaigns? Do you apply placement modifiers to them, since we can't identify which specific keywords are getting impressions from top of search or rest of search? So one, yes, you can. You absolutely can do that. So from the actual targeting, and then let me actually see if I can log into an account here and just show you. But for one, you absolutely can do that. You can see essentially like top of search percentage, right? So you understand how much of that is coming from, I can't log in right now. I'll do it later. So you absolutely can see those, and you can understand like percentage, right? From like top search. Can you see it from like a target level within the campaign? No, not usually. But instead you can just look at what your total percentage is of impressions, and then look at your different targets and understand how many impressions they have. So you 100% can understand where you are getting your impressions from for specific keywords. Now, do we use placement modifiers? All the time. I am a big fan of placement modifiers, especially nowadays with audience targeting and AMC. If you are not using AMC audience targeting, you are going to very quickly fall behind within the PPC train. AMC is here to stay and is now available to all. And so you absolutely should be utilizing it at any capacity that you can. So how do you optimize them? Same way you would optimize a single keyword campaign. You focus on one target and you look at how that target specifically is doing, and you optimize based on that. I don't usually like to do, placement modifiers in bulk. Like I'm not going to do multiple placement bid modifiers on one campaign. I'll choose one, and that's the purpose of that campaign. Let's see. You mentioned yesterday in your webinar about using inserts to send them to your website. Is it okay to send them to a site download, let's say a free recipe guide, once they give you their email? So yeah, this is, let's see. Is it okay to have inserts showing off other products in your brand and QR code back to your Amazon site? So for the second one there, yes, absolutely. This is okay. Like this one right here is absolutely okay. This one is a huge gray area. So I say it's a huge gray area because there is a fine line where Amazon technically says that you are not allowed to disrupt their sales process and you're not allowed to lead people off Amazon. Now, they don't explicitly say that that can't happen post-sale process. They just say that that can't happen in the sale process. So there's like very fine verbiage here. So if we're looking at like, let me see here. So product packaging. So Amazon actually, it's really funny. There is this website, and I'm trying to see if I can find the example. Amazon has an actual example on their site that technically goes against, quote unquote, what they approve. I can't seem to find it. Amazon product packaging QR code. I can't find it right now, but there is a actual little thing on Amazon's own packaging website where they show off Golly products. So Golly is a really big brand. It is connected directly with Amazon. And within that, they actually show on the product packaging a QR code. And that QR code, if you scan it, goes to Golly's website and does exactly what you are asking, Viper. It gives them like some free download tool or whatever, and they get email. And so it's one of those where it's a gray area. Amazon doesn't say, no, you explicitly can't do this, but they also don't say, yes, you can explicitly do this. They do say, no, you can't do other things such as, lead people off site during the sales process or mitigate the Amazon sales process. But a QR code in product packaging is technically considered post. The biggest thing at the end of the day, never have any form of review with inside that is either. I gotta find that website though, because that was a thing that Amazon did at one point in time. I'm gonna be mad if I can't find it. Do Golly and see if I can find it here. And then we'll move on to next question here. Show results, Golly. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find it. All good. I'll find it later. I'll make a post or something. Which 3PL service do you recommend for brands on Amazon to start to use? Yeah, I mean, I think I showed them there. A couple of different ones on myamazonguy.com/third. Again, head on over there. We have tons of them. Again, some of my favorite ones right now are Zon Prep and AMZ Prep. AMZ Prep is great. Blair is awesome. He's doing amazing things over there. Go over to the site, check them out. I don't typically have like a, hey, do this. You really need it. My FBA Prep is just like a tried and true. They've been around for years. They have coast to coast distribution. So they're a great option as well. So any of those is totally fine. Let's see here. Eric. Good to see you, Eric. Is AWD worth it, or should I keep sending directly to FBA? I think it can be worth it if you are doing enough volume to where it makes it worth it, right? So if you're doing enough volume to where you need to have extra time, or for instance, your overall manufacturing time is fairly slow. Let's say it takes, 90 days, 180 days during your manufacturing time. And yeah, then I would say AWD is absolutely worth it. Now, another thing that actually could make AWD worth it for you is just the total number or amount of inventory you're sending in at any given time, especially if you are sending in via pallet. So if you are doing pallet shipments into AWD, you actually get a 25% discount on receiving fees and storage fees, as well as a 25% discount on the fees for sending that inventory into FBA as well from AWD. So if you're doing it from that capacity, absolutely, I think it's definitely worth it just from a profitability standpoint. If you are not, right, if you're not doing pallets and you don't do a ton of inventory or a ton of volume, and you're not holding, thousands of units in FBA, then probably not. Hey, how do you have access to A+ premium content on my account? Yeah, so access to A+ premium content is actually super simple. The only thing that you need to do to get A+ premium access is you need to, one, have 5 or more approved A+ content variations over the course of the last 12 months. And then 2, have a brand story on every single one of your ASINs under your brand. That's it. Those are the 2 requirements. And then you can apply for Premium A+. Amazon will give you the ability to do it. Now, the more variations, obviously, over the last 12 months of A+ content that you have, just standard A+, the better. But 5 is now the requirement. It used to be 15, but they moved it down to 5. Best way to measure organic rank within PPC is working. Yeah, so the best way to measure is just get any tool that you can see the organic ranking of your products and your keywords, and then understand, here is where I was, here I am now. You can also use something like Search Query Performance Report to see if you're increasing your overall search from an organic standpoint, not including your advertising. So it's fairly simplistic, but that's just the way you do it. Is it okay to promote my book brands in my Amazon brands via product inserts and vice versa with the books? For instance, in the back of the book, a QR code to my Amazon product. This is a gray area. Again, at the end of the day, so promoting like other brands, right? And promoting other products. Yeah, you can promote other products, you can promote other brands. And if you're just sending people directly back to Amazon via a QR code, no issue whatsoever. Now, the question would be how many people are actually going to care about that, and how many people are going to look at it? How many conversions does that equal out to? I don't know. That's the part where it's like not a lot of testing done, right? If you have somebody who's purchased, I would have to look at obviously the brand again, Viper, to understand. But let's say it's a product that has like nothing to do with the current the book, right? Or vice versa. Why would somebody purchase it, right? And I don't know. Does it equal a positive ROI if you only get one purchase from it? If that's the case, sure, just do it. Let's see. Okay, so this person is replying to somebody else. Okay. Eric, to add on to Sam Spira's keyword question, what is the best strategy for generic keywords in product details? And are there limitations? Brand names, character limit? So by generic keywords, do you mean just like keywords that could mean anything, right? Is that what I guess I would have to look at Sam Spira. I think it was near the top. Is he the one that was asking about AirTag? Let's see. Okay, so Sam was asking about launching 50 keywords. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I mean, there's not like a best strategy for it at the end of the day, Eric. The one thing I will say when it comes to like generic keywords is that you don't want to do something like an exact campaign with them, right? So if you're launching these campaigns where you're doing generic keywords in, product details or in your advertising campaigns or anything like that, the point of them is to grow a general ranking and get more impressions across the board. So if you have a generic keyword, for instance, in your product details, you want to index for that keyword and maybe even potentially rank for it. Generic keywords usually have really high search volume, right? But they're also very competitive because they have such high search volume and so many people are going to rank for them. So the goal is to just index for keywords like that at the end of the day. Now, are there any limitations? Brand name? Yeah, you can't do brand names within your product details, but you can do brand names in your advertising. Is there a character limit? Yeah, I mean, there's character limit on every product detail type of thing. The biggest thing is like bullet points, for instance. First 1,000 characters are most impactful, and anything after that is a little less impactful as far as like indexing. So Amazon really, really focuses on the first 1,000 characters in your listing. Viper, is there a way to modify MCF fees? Sometimes the price is outrageous and not feasible sell through TikTok Shop without raising the price. Not that I'm aware of. This could be an issue, Viper, of them essentially just adding wrong packaging to the product. So you can ask MCF to do like a Cuba scan, for instance, and you can try and reclaim and recoup some of those fees when they essentially ship it in the wrong packaging dimensions, right? I mean, for instance, there are packages where I don't have a box. Oh, I do have a box. Hold on, right? So like this box right here, it's a huge box. It's what, this guy back here came in. So let's say you have this box. This box is going to cost you, let's say, $20 to ship at the end of the day, right? This exact same box, just an extra inch higher, could potentially be the difference between $20 and, let's say, $25 to ship. And if that's the case, then essentially, yeah, you're going to want to make sure they Cubiscan it because you don't want them to ship it in a box that's a little bit too large. You can also look for like MCF to do like ships and product packaging to just avoid the issue as a whole. Hey, Noah, how to increase conversion ratio on PPC campaign? Yep. So conversion ratio is very heavily dependent on kind of two to three things, I should say. One, your product detail page. So in your product detail page, are you having all of the correct information that people, your customers, are looking for? Do you have a good review score and a good number of reviews? And then finally, what does your pricing look like? Are you competitively priced? These are the three largest factors at the end of the day for conversion rate once somebody's actually on your product. Now, for PPC in general, you also want to make sure that anything you are targeting from a keyword perspective has essentially relevancy. So you don't want to target keywords that are adjacent at the end of the day. So something that's like a cross-category targeting keyword where your product is similar, but it's not exactly what somebody would probably be looking for in that scenario. That's typically going to be something where you essentially go through and you're like, this isn't exactly what somebody needs once they actually click on it, but they thought it was. So a great example I've seen of this in the past, somebody was selling a turkey call. But the thing is, they weren't actually selling the turkey call. They were selling like the holder for a turkey call, and it was handmade. And so all of the competitors around them for the keywords they were targeting were $10 to $15, but they were $120. So they got tons and tons of clicks because people are intrigued as to why it's so expensive, only to find out it's not even the product that they want. It's just a product adjacent to what they want. And so they just never got any conversions on it. So that's a big part of it when you're looking at the conversion ratio on PPC. Hold on. There's second part to this. Not brain registered, like what are best practices, though my listing is optimized? Yeah, so basically exactly what I was just kind of talking about there. Somebody's calling me. Turn that off. I got to hear a lot about this question from clients. We should create multiple ad groups in one campaign. For example, keyword targeting campaign, create one campaign with 5 different products, ad groups targeting all match types in one ad group per SKU. This is easier to manage. I would like to hear your thoughts on it. I don't really like it that way. So typically speaking, I want one ad group per campaign. It's easier to manage a bunch of different stuff in a smaller amount of space, just one campaign. I like to have one ad group per campaign, no more than 5 targets per campaign. The reason for that is that it's easier to optimize from that standpoint. You get to get granular with your search terms, you're granular with your bid optimization, you're granular with your negations as well. So the easy way is not always the most efficient and most optimal way, but you absolutely can create campaigns like that. I just personally wouldn't at the end of the day. Let's see. 1 of 12. Oh, 2. 1 of 2. I want to launch a new product that can be a variation of an existing product I sell. I want to launch it by itself for the honeymoon and also sell out of the old product. Would it be wise to merge after a couple of months to gain the reviews of the older model? The old model being replaced has 150 reviews. Will the old product being sold out affect the new one when they merge, or when the old sells out? Okay, so anytime you're creating a new version of a product, I'm not going to recommend a merge just because Amazon's going to want you to essentially keep all the product details and everything like that. What you should do, though, is you should parent the products together. Because if you have an old product you're trying to sell out of and a new variation of the product, yeah, it's going to hurt. Essentially, the best way to do it is have the old product be, let's say, 10% cheaper than the new counterpart variation, but have them on the same parentage together. You get the aspect of all of the history, the SEO, the reviews, so on and so forth, while at the same time, essentially people now have the choice of either something slightly cheaper, but an outdated version, or something a little more expensive and it's a new version. And so you kind of create that capacity where people get the realm of choice, and it also boosts sales at the end of the day as well, Viper. Let's see. Zane. When offering a free add-on or bonus item with the main product, can we highlight it in the main image? Depends on how you're doing it, right? So if you're offering it as like a deal or anything like that, or it's just something that's like inside the product, typically no. So Amazon doesn't want to have you ever like say like free this or anything, or bonus this in your product, in your main image or anything like that. Now, if someone buys something and then like you're just including something in the box, let's say with it that just comes with every single product purchase, then yeah, you can just include that showing like a little thing. Just don't say free or bonus or anything like that. Just show that essentially that's something people also get when they purchase this thing, right? Yeah, if you're doing like the buy one, get one type of thing, definitely don't do that with like a main image thing, because that goes against the deal promo term service. Any affordable product packaging customization suppliers in the USA? I don't think so. I mean, we do, for instance, product packaging. So if you're interested, reach out to us, Zishan. We absolutely can do product packaging. It's fairly inexpensive for us to do it, and we're happy to make it. We don't make the actual product packaging. We just design it for you, and then you can use that, send it off to any type of packaging manufacturer, and usually they can make it. Thank you. That's great to know. I'll be doing pallets soon, so I'm going to check into AWD ASAP. Fantastic. Love to hear that, Eric. All right. Let's see. Is it better to have a brand story that is specialized for each product, or one that highlights your other products? Yeah, I mean, I would say it highlights other products. So your brand story is meant for all products at the end of the day. So you want to highlight all of your products. That also helps you with average order value and cross-sell opportunities at the end of the day. So I would definitely highlight all of your products, not, highlighting like, your specific product on the brand story. You want to highlight the brand in a brand story, essentially. Hi, I have many impressions and clicks, but not more sales in PPC. So I should remove negative keywords for not spending more budget, but what to do to increase my sales? Should I add new campaigns? Yeah. So if you're essentially not getting any sales and you're not getting conversions, first and foremost, again, look at your listing and optimize your listing first. And then secondarily, yes, add new campaigns. And you should always be adding new campaigns, testing out new keywords, and doing gold panning for potential keywords to see if there's anything out there. You should not just have campaigns that aren't doing anything. If you have too many negations in a campaign that you're not getting any sales whatsoever, yeah, you might be over negating campaigns. So never negate a good keyword and always negate a bad keyword. Oh, you're talking about generic keywords in the field. And yeah, so generic keywords would just be like back-end SEO. Essentially, Eric, is the best way to explain it. So yeah, absolutely. Yes, you can add stuff in there. I wouldn't add brand names in there ever, just because, again, that can get your product listing flagged, even if it's on the back end and not the front end. So no, don't add any brand names into that, Eric. As per Brandon Young, if a keyword is repeated more than twice in exact form, then Amazon doesn't allow us to rank for it. Can you further explain? False. So it's not that Amazon doesn't allow you to rank for it if it's more than twice in exact form. That would, first off, literally go against their own title thing, where Amazon says that you can have the same keyword in your title up to 3 times, right? So there would be zero reason in which they would say you can do that if they wouldn't rank you once you hit the 3rd time, right? Now, what Brandon typically means by you're not going to rank for it is that keyword stuffing in general can tend to have a negative impact from an algorithmic perspective for ranking. If you're essentially just throwing keywords in all the time, there's no real point to it. And so 2 times? No, you absolutely, if you have a keyword in exact form more than twice, yes, you can still rank for it. If you start throwing in 5, 10 times, yeah, that's going to hurt you from a ranking and indexing perspective. That is what we call stuffing. How best way to measure organic rank within PPC strategy is working? Measure your tacos. That's the best way at the end of the day. If your tacos is either going down or it's staying stagnant, even with you increasing budget, then you know that your organic sales are increasing and your organic ranking against all of your targeting is increasing as well. What's your opinion on Amazon SPP? We're registered for it. I don't really have an opinion on it. I think, it's a security move by Amazon where essentially they're trying to mitigate bad faith actors within the Amazon space, which there are plenty of. And so with that, they're making everyone register for it. We're registered for it. Every single one of our client accounts uses us through it. We're an authorized partner, is what it is. Let's see. Eric, what are your thoughts on voice of customer program? We have products dinged because customer didn't read the title, i.e. title says 3-pack, 1 of each, and customer complained they expected 3 of each. Yeah, welcome to, customer service in general. People don't read ever. So it's the age old, pictures are for the people, text is for the robot, Eric. So always make your pictures as dummy proof as possible so that people understand what it is they are actually getting, because people don't read text. They only look at the pictures, and then they purchase the product, and then something like this happens. So make sure it's super known with inside of your image stack. Yeah, you can have it in the title, doesn't matter. And Amazon doesn't care, unfortunately. So it's a big thing at the end of the day. Even if you have essentially a clear descriptor and somebody says, I thought I was getting this, Amazon doesn't care. They always side with the customer more than anything. And it looks like Viper's question is the last one we have on the docket right now. If anybody else has some questions, throw them in the chat. I'm going to be here for another 15 minutes unless we might call it early today if people don't have questions. So let's get through this. Is there any techniques or methods to launch a new color variation of your hero product? No, not really, Viper. I mean, it doesn't matter that it's color variation. Just say variation in general, right? There's no differentiator inside of it that I would say. I'm always going to, say within that, yeah, go ahead and add it to your product parentage immediately, right? If it's something that someone has been trying to purchase from you, right? Or it's a color variation you think people want, immediately add it to your parentage and then put some ads against it, and you will see results for it. Let's see. We got Eric in the house again. Do bulk files replace the need to use campaign reports such as search term or advertising product report? No. I mean, technically yes and no, because you're kind of asking the same question. So reporting versus like doing a bulk file. Bulk file is just the form of like upload, right? Versus like what you're asking is, do I still need to get all of these reports from certain types of advertising reports? And the answer would be yeah, because you want to be able to make data-driven decisions with any type of advertising change and optimization that you're doing. So no, they don't technically get rid of them. Eric again with is seller board / inventory lab still an essential platform for Amazon, or would you say Amazon Seller Central is good enough as is now? There used to be a big push for those in the past. Yeah, so I think Amazon or Seller Labs and things like that, or Seller Board, I should say, I think is still great, right? Like they have a great platform. It's inexpensive and it's really good at what it does for things such as like forecasting, inventory management, profitability, so on and so forth. So if you're very hesitant, for instance, to give Amazon data around like cost of goods information and your shipping information, things like that, then yeah, I would still use a software. But if you're willing to accept Amazon is going to probably get the information from you regardless, then I think a lot of Amazon's reporting is like as, okay as can be. It just needs a lot of fine tuning. So Amazon's new custom analytics dashboard is fantastic for that. I have a full video in depth on those. Same thing with like the profit analytics. So you used to use like Seller Board for profit analytics. You don't need to do that anymore. You can use Amazon's own platform for a lot of those analytics now. Any idea about the current check-in times? My goods will reach USA on the 15th, another 7 days till they are ready for shipping from my agent's warehouse. No, Amazon's been surprisingly quiet this Q4. Usually they say, hey, by now they're like, hey, it's going to be X amount of time extra comparatively. Usually I give it an extra 30 days during Q4 just because they have a lot of products coming through. They have a lot of things happening. And so it's likely that things will take a little extra time during this time of the year. So I always am going to assume an extra, between 20 and 30 days for check-in during Q4. Viper, is it possible to sell an electronic device that uses consumables and have them on the same listing? Can I make those consumables subscribe and save, or does everything on the listing need to be... I don't see the second part of this, Viper. I'm up to speed. You can't do these two-part questions. Electronic device that use consumables and have them on the same listing. Can I make the consumables subscribe and save? Yeah, so everything on the listing needs to be subscribe and save. Well, not everything on the listing. You can make singular ASINs, but honestly, if you have like this type of situation, I wouldn't do them on the same listing or parentage. Instead, I would make two different listings, make the other one, and then just try and do a situation where you give people who purchase a discount or a promo code to your other listing to try and increase average order value or just increase customer lifetime value. Let's see. Is there an accurate way to figure out our total inventory, AWD plus FBA? The numbers seem to change based on week and fluctuates both up and down. What's the best way to know combined inventory? Yeah, couple of things with that. Is there an accurate way to like get total inventory? Yes, you can essentially get a report both from AWD and you can get a report from FBA and just combine the two. There's not like a one size fits all. They don't have like a, hey, here's your total allotment, so to speak, within that. That's the only issue I would say you're going to have with it at the end of the day. But what's like the best way? Just get the report weekly from both, right? You can get a in transfer report plus a in inventory AWD plus an inventory FBA, and that will just give you your total across the board. And that looks like the last question. So, all right, guys, a little early wrap up today, but I think we're gonna wrap it up here and whatnot. So hopefully, you guys had a little bit of fun today, getting all your questions answered and seeing a bunch of clowns. We will be back next Friday again, 12 p.m. Eastern, to answer any and all of your questions. For those of you who are unaware and uninitiated as to who I am, who we are as a company, we are My Amazon Guy. We are a full service Amazon agency and direct consumer agency. If you guys have any issues on Amazon whatsoever, come on over to our website and book a call with one of my team members. We're happy to talk to you guys and have one of my expert team members guide you through any process. If it makes sense, have one of us essentially hop in and help you guys out. So all that being said, again, my name is Noah. I'm VP of Sales and Marketing here at My Amazon Guy. Check me out on LinkedIn as well if you want some daily tips and tricks for Amazon and direct-to-consumer. I just launched a brand new direct-to-consumer playbook over on my LinkedIn, so go check that out. Give it a download, and we'll be back next week, 12 p.m. Eastern next Friday. See you, everybody.